There have been some details from the incoming update that have been left out, unreleased, that we have for you right now. I'm going to let you know these, well, right now, before I get into some other details that I want to discuss. One, these came from Chinese patch notes. They didn't come on over to that of the patch notes from Blizzard, so we could assume that these are probably coming to the game, but we cannot yet confirm that. First thing, there's going to be a gem surge event, which works with the new gem coming to the game, as well as the seeping bile gem. That is number one. Number two, you're going to be able to claim some type of blue rare activity crests from the game, probably from some type of a notification system. There's a way to turn on and off some visual effects from your teammates inside of the game as well. The new Phantom Market cosmetic is supposed to hold the cosmetic of the new class that is yet to be released, the details of what that class is, and there's supposed to be a new mode for Battlegrounds, Rifts, and Training. So, we're talking about a new training area for Battlegrounds and for Rifts. Now, I want to dive into more details of this update throughout the rest of this video, and at the very end, I'm going to be sharing with you details of a conversation that I had while I was over at Blizzard with the developers. You're going to want to know the details of that one. With the Diablo Immortal 4.0 update launching in less than 24 hours, there are a few items that I want to discuss regarding the update that I didn't touch on yesterday. Now, if you missed yesterday's video, I went in depth on the patch notes and everything coming in this update, as well as a second video breaking down all of the essences that are coming to all of the classes that are going to be changing how the game plays. Now, let's get into Reliquary Gauntlet for Season 1. A new Reliquary Gauntlet with new prizes. As you can see, the reward here is Astride the First Forest Weapon. This is for Inferno 7, which requires you to have a 51,000 combat rating to be successful with it. And of course, you can do it with less, but it's becoming more difficult. Inferno 8 is going to require a basically 53,000 combat rating. You're going to be getting the armor of that set. And then Inferno 9, 54,290 combat rating, and it rewards you with the portal. Now, keep in mind that this is going to be a lot more difficult than just the combat rating states. There's a lot more damage that needs to be done to these final bosses than you would expect. I'm talking billions of damage, so you have to be extremely prepared, especially for this Inferno 9. Now, this will be going on for quite a while. Plenty of time to power up your account to take down these bosses. Again, friend yourself a whale or something inside of the game that can have a couple of other whale friends and help you through it if you are a free-to-play player or someone along those lines. Now, we have more details on these ancient legendary items, a little bit more depth to show you what this stuff actually looks like. And as I mentioned, I got to play with this while I was over at Blizzard. I wore the ancient legendary helms and I got to see how much more powerful they were. Something I will say is they do bring a lot of extra combat rating to the party, and well, it's going to help you boost up that combat rating. And as I mentioned yesterday, over time, we're going to see these enhanced ancient legendary items across all gear slots, but for right now, they're just here on the helmets. We have the Horde Splitter's Spirit. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the things that I wanted to mention is, notice we have 4 different attributes here. And look at beneficial effect duration increased by 4.5%. Crit chance increased by 3%. Crit damage by 4.5%. Increased damage while moving, which is a new affix. There's a new affix on every single one of these pieces of gear. Now, for me, the one that I personally chose that I liked the best was this Horde Splitter's Spirit. I really do like the beneficial effect duration, and I like anything that's going to increase crit chance or crit damage. So that was the one that I chose as my favorite, although I didn't really love the increased 6% damage while moving. It's great if you're popping your skills and running around and letting your skills do damage, but it wasn't my favorite as far as the new affixes. Let's look at all the other new ones that dropped. We have Unveiled Secrets. When hitting an enemy from behind, the damage dealt is increased by 6%. To be honest, I don't love having to really position myself to hit someone from behind to get that extra damage. First strike, primary attacks have an 8% chance to shatter on impact, exploding to deal 100% of their damage to nearby enemies. I like that one. I think that one's really nice, but here we had primary attack damage increased, attack speed increased. First strike is one that you're going to wear if you're putting a build together that's really going to be focused around utilizing less skills, more primary attacks. We have Eager Trigger's Sight. Picking up a health globe has 24% chance to reset the cooldown of one of your skills. That's something definitely brand new. Also one that I think is not going to be extremely powerful. Attack speed is increased, skill cooldown reduced, and skill damage increased. And then we have Grave Runner, reduces the duration of total loss of control effects by 6%, another new one. And then we have these that are coupled along with it, including Endure. Evasion rating is increased by 0.8 for every nearby enemy, up to a maximum of 8%. Evading an attack has a % chance to grant you a shield equal to 5% of your maximum life, and damage taken from players is reduced, which I do like the damage taken from players, specifically for PvP related things. But there are other things here. Now, I do want to say that this gear is the next step in gear. We've gone through cursed gear, we've gone through all different types of gear inside of the game. This is our next step, which can be coming out over time. I do not have a timeline as to when we'll start seeing a chest plate, when we'll see shoulders, when we'll see gloves. I don't know when that's all going to happen. Now, actually not gloves. Why did I say gloves? Those are green. So weapons, primary weapons, secondary weapons. Now, let's get into some of the class balance changes here. General class balance. This is really focused on PvE right here. Critical hit damage cap is increased from 100% to 120% for PvE activities. Players versus environment, you going against the game itself. This remains unchanged for PvP. So we'll be able to get more critical hit damage. That's nice. More damage. Great against something like Heliquary bosses, etc. And the Necromancer. Poor Necromancer didn't get any love this time around. Proximation Fear Pants now only deals damage and fears on cast and on end instead of during the entire duration. So fear will not be invoked throughout the entire time. Now we have some new familiar passive skills. Let's dive into these. We have the Phalanx. If your life is above a set percentage, you receive a damage increase. If your life drops below a set percentage, you gain a defense increase for a few seconds. This is increased by a set percentage for each additional familiar applied status effect to set limit. All right, sounds confusing, but basically at the end of the day, when you're at high health, you get more damage. When you're at low health, you have more defense. It actually seems like a pretty decent passive skill. Then you have Guardian. The familiar applies a Guardian status effect to you. If your life drops below a set percentage, the effect ends and restores the percentage of your maximum life. Recovery is increased for every nearby enemy when the status effect ends to a maximum of 100%. So essentially, this is one that's going to be good for PvE related activities. Additionally, the familiar passive Savior skill has been modified to reduce the power of the familiar's active skill as a trade-off for saving the player from death. So, Savior is one of the things that everyone focuses on with our familiar. If you have any interest in PvP, it is highly important for you to get yourself a pet that has Savior on it because it acts like a Phoenix Ashes kind of, and it will save you from death. This here is now going to nerf that a little bit. The familiar's Savior has been modified to reduce the power of the familiar's active skill as a trade-off, which honestly, the active skill is not something that we would be very worried about too much in PvP, so you are still getting that same save death feature, which is what we are really focused on. We have some PC shortcuts. Added an auto run key that causes your character to automatically follow the position of your mouse cursor. A tilde key. I think I went over this one yesterday. Added a new setting that allows you to click on your skills to cast them. The setting is not enabled by default. You can bind actions to the mouse, yes, and the space bar to skip cutscenes. I did talk about that yesterday, as well as the portal interruption. Let's take a look at some battleground matchmaking, though. To continue our ongoing initiative to improve the Battlegrounds matchmaking system, we've introduced another round of updates. These are very positive. It's been a struggle of Blizzard, of Diablo Immortal, of NetEase to really get matchmaking balancing perfect, but they're continuing to try so that we can have a better experience, which is a positive thing. These updates aim to more fairly match you against other players of relative skill, resulting in more balanced games. We plan to continue fine-tuning this system in the future. So they're not giving any details of what they've done, but they are letting us know that they're continuously trying to balance out matchmaking for all players. Now we have the Battleground Convoy. We've received feedback that players feel though the default camera angle and a lack of information about what's going on during the match have made it difficult to play Battleground Convoy. To address this feedback, we've added some changes. At any time during a match, you can tap and hold on the screen to pan your camera around the battlefield. Releasing will cause the camera to snap back to your character's location. This action can be performed on PC by clicking and holding the scroll wheel of your mouse. That's pretty easy. Click and move it around. You can ping anywhere on the battlefield to alert your team using a button next to the minimap. The requirement to press a button to revive has been removed. While waiting to review, you can now spectate your teammates. And voiceover callouts have been added to communicate when teammates die. Objectives are captured and other useful information. Now, the developers note, we're excited to see how these updates provide players with a more battlefield awareness and aid performance. Going forward, we'll continue to look for ways to improve Battleground Convoy. Please provide us any feedback. The way that you do that is obviously within these videos in the comments, because I know that these videos are seen by the developers as well as in the forum. And I'm sure they see things on Reddit as well. Something's going on here with Vanguard. We're refreshing Vanguard Mode to kick off a new cycle, beginning with reimagined Lidwinter Woods. The update removes some frustrating mechanics that previously slowed progression and introduces new tiers of difficulty to better challenge and reward you. We're also expanding the presence of spectral allies in the early difficulty tiers, providing you with more options and an engaging way to shape your playstyle from the start. Developers note here, these changes mark the beginning of a broader effort to revitalize Vanguard Mode and ensure each rotation feels fresh, rewarding, and worth returning to. Moving forward, we continue making changes to this mode that aligns with these goals. So, funny thing is, I had a conversation with one of the development team members regarding Vanguard Mode. And I think the team knows from that conversation that Vanguard Mode is an underplayed mode. It's not the most popular mode inside of the game. And the discussion that I had revolved around the rewards from Vanguard Mode not directly enough impacting your main character inside of the game. This is known, and I'm actually not surprised to see that they're looking to revitalize this to make it a more playable mode that's going to maybe impact the main account a bit more than it does right now. I have to personally say, I played it when it came out, and I haven't played it since. I mean, we're talking months now. And it's a game mode that is actually a lot of fun. I would love to see it be worked in a way where it can impact my main account a little bit more, giving me more incentive to play it. Raid the Vault. Entering the vault will no longer grant activity points towards your Deeds of Valor badge, but instead will earn you 15 activity points when you open a chest inside the vault. Fully clearing all 4 floors of vault and opening all chests grants 150 activity points, helping you to complete the weekly activity requirements in as little as 4 full clears. Now, build recommendations. Over the coming months, we're updating the build recommendation page to better highlight the creativity and expertise of our community. The first update is a new tab that showcases the top PvP and PvE players from our leaderboards. You can now view, explore, and even save these builds directly to your inventory. Developers note as we continue to evolve this feature, we plan to introduce more ways for players to share, discover, and celebrate builds created by the community. I love this. Reminds me of Clash Royale. How many of you have played Clash Royale? You get beaten by someone and you want to check out their deck because they just spanked you and you had no counter to their deck. So you go spectate it and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to copy that deck onto my roster of decks, or in this case builds, and I'm going to try it out myself. This is a great feature. We can look up to some of the top leaderboard players and test out their builds. I mean, let's be honest, this is already happening now, but we're screenshotting or looking at someone's build and then going and building it ourselves manually. It could be difficult. It could be a pain in the butt. It actually is a huge pain in the butt. So being able to have a copy feature, as long as you have the essences and items needed for that, I think it's a huge win. This is a great quality of life improvement. And thank you, top leaderboard players, for sharing your builds ahead of time. The power of UI. It currently takes a lot of taps and clicks to see all the equipment set and legendary powers that apply to your character. So we've added a set and legendary powers overview button to both the inventory and armory menus. The new page explains all applied powers and should be helpful for those looking to fine-tune and share their builds with others. This is also very nice quality of life convenience. Hero's Journey will reset on the 19th. The first 4 chapters of the next hero's journey will be available for you to complete with the quill and parchment frame as your reward. Challenge rifts we spoke of yesterday, they're going to be getting a little bit easier for the ones that are out now, and we're going to get a total cap of floor level 550. Adventures Chronicles getting some new stuff as well. I may as well read through it because we're right here at the end. We've added 10 new tales to the Chronicles scattered throughout Sanctuary. Most can be added to your Chronicle supply by locating them in the wilderness, but one will only be found through unconventional means. So there's going to be one little secret one out there that you're going to want to find. And Cycle of Strife Burning Cloaks. 2 new Burning Cloaks are available. Oh yeah, we did speak about this yesterday as well. Basically, if you have been immortal for 63 weeks and at least 8 Blessed Rains, you'll get the next tier of cloak, which will be coming out with the update. And then if you have been an immortal for 98 weeks with 11 weeks as a Blessed Rain, you have the new final tier, Beastly Cape. Now, I want to discuss something else with you guys regarding while I was away. I captured hours of footage. It is all right here. On this drive, I have all of the secrets to everything coming in the new Diablo Immortal update, to the new class that's coming. All the details are right here from my own particular gameplay. I cannot share this with you as of yet because, as you all know, we have not yet discussed the actual class that's coming to Diablo Immortal. And all of the footage on this drive include that class because when I was testing, I chose to play as that class. So, as soon as I'm able to share with you what the new class is inside of the game, all of this footage will be available to you. I will share it all with you. Until that time, I can't share it with you because it will reveal something that I am currently still under NDA about. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. It means that I can't share certain information until an embargo date has come. We have not reached the embargo date of the new class, hence all of the details right here shall remain safe in my safety locked box. That's also within another safety locked box. That's fireproof because we're living in hell in Diablo Immortal. Guys, I so am looking forward to this update. Only about 20 hours until it comes. I hope you have a great day. See you in the game.